But you know, Will, this media is being live streamed for sure. And what we'll do, like I said, we'll record it, we'll rebroadcast it. You know, for everybody to get a bar of it so they can.
All right, we live on Facebook. 1 second, y'all. Let me go ahead and do what I gotta do.
Saw the words right there.
Oh yeah,
all right, we live.
Yes, man.
So they can hear whatever y'all saying.
well, let's get started.
1 second, I gotta do some housekeeping. Let me do my edit posts. Right now, let me tag Bliff.
Bliff, hit Messi and tell her to go live on Facebook, or hit whoever we know so everybody can get involved in it.
What Facebook is on?
Just call her. Just tell her to go on there. She'll be able to see it because I'm on here. I know you got more than one phone.
Let me see if I can highlight.
Okay. Imagine.
All right, you guys.
Tell them going live on Facebook.
Y'all want to tune in? I got two legends up on here, and we about to go live. 1 second. All right, I done tagged you guys on Facebook. Now let me go back to Zoom.
Yeah.
And hit what we want to hear. 1 second. That's what we want to hear. Recording in progress.
Yes, ma'am.
From Sac Domain.
All right, y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
I got my brother back, Bliff, whatever y'all want to call him.
Clifford.
Clifford.
Yes, ma'am.
He's back. He's going to help me co-host tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Mark Sanders.
Man, Mr. Mark Sanders, MS. You know,
MS is here. So
Dwight, and my other name is Dwight. I was born Dwight Stone. That's my dad.
That's it. Okay, we're gonna find all that out in a minute. We're gonna find all that out in a minute. So, I need to go to Let me make sure. 1 second. Where's my Facebook? All right, let me get here. You guys.
Imagine,
you guys heard Clifford's story already, right? So Cliff, he was like a leader. He goes, sis, you gotta interview my boy, So, he sent Mark to me and stuff. I was like, I finally, scheduled a date and they're here. So you guys get ready to take notes, get ready to learn some stuff, if you got something to say, put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat, man. We answer questions.
All right.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
Oh yeah. Who's Jessica?
That's my daughter.
Okay, because it's usually just me. Is she gonna be talking too, or?
Nah, she's observing. She can have the questions, but she's observing. This is
Okay, because usually it's just me and who I'm interviewing, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay, yeah, yes, ma'am. This is me and Clifford.
Because on Facebook, well, you can't really see. Let me see. Yeah, because this is live on Facebook.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna log off.
Okay.
What's she logging on for? She supposed to see it.
Well, no, you can see it like on Facebook. I mean,
Facebook
and stuff. Yeah. So that's why we don't give like the Zoom links out. But that's okay, y'all. We got this.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we heard the backstory about, Cliff and stuff. So Mark, I just got a few questions to ask you, but I ask everybody who always come on the show first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was Mark like in elementary?
I was a good kid in elementary, but
You was a good kid?
To some people. But I used to be, I was precocious. I was a little bad kid. I went to Bret Hart. I went to Catholic school like Clifford. I went to the same Catholic school Clifford went to. I went to Immaculate Conception.
Yeah. You went to a Catholic school?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, you did too?
Yes, we did. Right there in my neighborhood, right there in Oak Park. I sure did.
First and second grade.
Yeah, me too. First and second grade. Got kicked out in second grade though, but I did.
You got kicked out in second grade?
I got kicked out in second grade too.
Yes, I did. I went to Bret Hart Elementary after that.
Okay.
I went to probably every elementary in Oak Park. So, and but I was large as a kid. I was a big kid, and due to the environment I came from, I come from I was born and raised in Oak Park, so and I grew up in the 70s, and it was a tumultuous time. And you know, I'm a product of the civil rights movement. People my age, you know, and I grew up in that era, in that tumultuous area with those with that highly charged political things going on in my community, and being that my community was a black epicenter in Sacramento. You know, we had the Black Panthers, we had the Nation of Islam, um, we had the Black Souls on 35th and 5th Avenue, we had the Majestics, we had Shabazz Fish and Chips, we had Inner City, and those are the things that shaped my life and made me who I am today. You know, that stayed with me to this day. I'm still a student, you know, of the Muslims, although I don't, you know, but I'm a student of Christianity. I'm a student of all spiritual things, but I just don't have a religion. You know, just based on my um very well studied life. You know, I'm a learned man. You know, I'm a self-educated man. I'm a learned man, and that's the best education you can give is the one you give yourself.
Did you like in junior high or high school? Did you play any sports or what did you?
I did. I boxed. I boxed. I boxed. I did. Took kung fu, kickboxing at Oak Park Community Center, which is U.S. Bank right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I played basketball, Sac High. Played baseball at the big park. I played football. Like all of us, I played sports. I was swimming at the big park, swimming at Sac High, swimming at Tahoe Park.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typical Oak Park baby.
Okay.
Right.
So you talked about like elementary and high school and stuff. Or high school, Sac High. What about junior high? What was Mark like in junior high?
I was a good kid, but I was a terrible actor. So I'm just keeping 100 with y'all. Like, I ran with a bunch of young boys that was, you know, I lost my father. My father died like 1977. So my mom, she was a single mom. So I had uncles, but I was the latchkey kid, if you remember that term, you know, which means my mom was at work and I was free to run the streets. And, you know, the individuals that I ran with, you know, me, Leon Jordan, Hard Rock, James Hampton, Frankie Robinson, Terrell Robinson, Ethan. It was a gang of us. Ethan Phillips, Marvin Seward, Stephon Williams. It was a bunch of us that had single, you know, moms raising us, and we was just unfortunately was influenced by the environment. You know what I mean? So that was where I developed myself as. So I was a good kid, but I was a bad kid too.
You know, Cliff, when he, hey, brother Lamont, my brother just jumped on watching. Cliff was talking about, when he was young, like, stealing the cars, and stuff like that. Tell it, like when you say you was like, when did you actually become a product of the environment? Like, was it?
I was never a square, so these things were in my house. All my uncles had been in prison except for one. The majority of my family system impacted. And not what people need to understand that people don't understand that this is a system that was created for us to fall victim to this system. And as a young man, I fell victim to the system. So the criminality I engaged in, I learned from my older relatives and from the people in the community. So now that you know it's wrong, at the time, it was normal. It was normalized. Violence was normalized. So I grew up, I was very violent. So just to be, I wasn't stealing cars, but I was playing with guns and robbing people. I was picked on a lot of Europeans growing up in school because of the climate in my community.
You lost your camera. Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna bring it back right now. The climate in my community, unfortunately, was at the time was racially charged. Due to what was going on in the community at that time. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I was very few of my friends escaped that fate. Very few of us did.
It's just I do have to say this, Cliff.
Yeah.
My brother Lamont just said he used to coach. He said I used to coach Cliff in basketball. Lamont Cobb.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's watching. You
So
know,
I played. Cause everybody's always asking, man, how do you know everybody from every hood and stuff? I play sports, and I was
yeah.
in YSP like I was saying last time. Next sports program.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cliff, you want to go ahead and, because you know Mark very well. So that's why I kind of hit you up. I was like, you know what? You be the perfect co-host, right?
Mark was different. You got a lot of homies that be proud of people doing dirt. Be proud of people. Here go a gun, go do this. Be proud of people. His resume stands for itself. He did all that the youngsters do when he was younger and older, and we all looked up to him. I had to go to his job when I was 60 years old and sit up there with him at work. But he never one time said, Clifford, here go a gun. Clifford this. And his levels was over everybody's. And man, I grew up so fast and I was already doing wooty woo woo, but he never influenced me to do wooty woo woo.
Wow.
Because you got big homies be proud. Oh yeah, woo woo. He wasn't proud of that because he already did it himself.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like there's a difference between a big homie and a big brother.
Thank you.
So
that's a good one. That's a real good one.
So when you a brother, you want for your brother what you want for yourself. And Clifford, that's my grandson's uncle. And so we don't want none of us to go through what we went through if you went through that, right? And none of us should be proud of that. I'm not proud of that, right? But that comes from a level of maturity. That comes from choking your ego and being humble and being a man. A man is accountable for his actions, right? Man doesn't make excuses. He's accountable. So anybody that has went through the stuff that we went through, you have a duty and a responsibility to get back to your community. You have a duty and a responsibility as a man. And right, and anyone watching this should understand man means intelligence. Man means mind, right? So God created you in the image and likeness of himself, right? And the root word in that is image, right? Because knowledge is key, but imagination is more powerful than knowledge. If you do any study and any understanding, right? Because what you can imagine, you can manifest, right?
Right.
And exactly, and it has nothing to do with knowledge. You can manifest it, right? So understanding that and understanding that God, our creator, put intelligence in every part of our body, right? So if something gets hot on your skin and your skin tells you that's hot, that's intelligence. That's your skin. That's intelligence of your skin telling you that's hot. That's so you should understand that life is growth and development. Life is also intelligence, because if you don't use your intelligence, you will suffer for that. Right? And like you say, narrow is the straight gate, wide is the road to ruin. Not only am I a Bible expert, but I'm a Holy Quran expert, Buddhism, anything that has something to do with spiritual development in human beings. And understanding that I have a duty and a responsibility to let these kids know not to take the steps that we went through.
Right. Now, speaking of that, so, did you graduate? I mean, like high school and stuff. Did you graduate?
Yeah, I'm a high school graduate. I'm a college graduate. I got a college degree.
Okay. So what happened after high school after you
I went to prison in high school. I went to prison at 16 years old.
You went to prison at 16?
Yes, I did. 16 years old. 11 days after I turned 16, I caught a case. I went to state prison. See, I went from juvenile hall straight to prison.
For how many years?
I did 6 years, 10 months, and 12 days. I got 11 years. I went straight to adult prison. But I was, again, my community prepared me to go to prison. So prison wasn't something that I looked at as being something I wasn't gonna do. It was acceptable for me to go to prison. It was a rite of as any black male at my time, prison is usually something that we do being black in America. If you're black, a young black male, right? Especially if you're a man child like myself, large. I was 6'3", 6'4", I was 16, and I was extremely sophisticated at my age. So like Clifford, I was fast. You know, I was 16. I ran with Charlie Bonton, Ray Dick, Sean Collins, Chit Pitts. I was on Wall Street with these dudes as kids. You know, I'm usually the youngest dude around. You know, so
Exactly, I was.
yeah, and I was prepared for prison. You know, my neighborhood prepared me for prison. You know, I one of my big homies just got out of jail, and I don't got too many of them. But Freddie Brinkley, one of my big homies, did 42 years, and he was the guy that I was in prison with him.
Yeah.
You know, I went to prison as a juvenile, and they didn't give me no breaks. I didn't get no breaks. You know, and at that time, the landscape in prison would be considered 10 times more violent than the prison that they have now. It's different, total different landscape.
Oh, yeah.
You know, totally different. You know,
Yeah.
and I was affiliated, which makes it even worse. You know.
Yeah, the times that we grew up, because I'm never
You know,
ashamed to say my age. I'm gonna be 59. You know what I mean?
Oh, we the same age.
Yeah, so what we
Trump.
grew up to now is just it's a whole different, including the streets and everything. And shout out to Root Dog. Root Dog's watching. Family, we
Oh.
still praying for you. You
Peace
know,
and blessings, bro.
yeah,
Peace and blessings, man. I've been knowing him since he's a young boy. I know him. I know him and his brother.
you're gonna beat that cancer, brother. I've been on Root for a long time, but it's just, and it's just funny. And I think about how, when we grew up, those times and what we went, like, we had the 8 tracks. We had
all that. Yeah.
And but the street guys, as we was looking up, they was different too. They kind of looked out for the neighborhood too.
They did. All my big homies. All my big homies looked out for me.
Yeah,
so
they don't look
the
out.
Dudes that raised me never took advantage of me.
Yeah.
And they always laced my boots. They was trying to pay me to go to school. They didn't want me in the streets, but I wouldn't listen. You know, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I paid the price for that. You know, life is about choices. Choices have consequences. You know, and whether the consequences are good or bad, you still have a consequence. Freedom operates under a law. That law is called justice, right?
Yeah.
And you get justice, which is equality for your actions. Just I see equality. Or you spell that just ICE, or you get just ICE. Yeah, which is a hard reality that you get for your behavior. You know, ICE is cold, man, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Shout out
to JDK. He just hopped on too. So when you got home after the 6 years, what was your mindset? And did you go back again to prison? But
yes, I did. When I got out of prison, at 21, 22 years old, I was woefully unprepared. I didn't have no rehabilitative training, no rehabilitative. I didn't do nothing because CDCR CDC was not doing any rehabilitation. They took all the rehabilitation out of prison. It was purely punitive, purely punishment, right? So I end up paroling from the hole on the indeterminate shoe, and I end up paroling from segregated housing, and I went home angry, young, and it was just a matter of time before I reoffended. I didn't have no guide to not reoffend. I was 10 toes deep in the game, and I went home and jumped right up in the game. All my friends, all my elementary school friends, when I came home, they ran my neighborhood. So all my generation ran my neighborhood when I came home. The old guard was gone. It was my generation. It was our time. So that meant the Bloods ran the city. The Bloods ran my neighborhood because I'm an original Blood for my neighborhood. You know what I mean? So we ended up taking over. You know what I mean? And that led to me being, deeper into the criminality and engaging in the destruction of my community. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? I was in, like other brothers my age, like other people, other young men that were also unfortunately engaged in this behavior. There's no redeeming value in that behavior, and it's unsustainable. You can't sustain that behavior. That behavior has two things: death or the penitentiary. It does not have any middle ground. When you're living like that, there's 2 things that are inevitable, right? Either dying or you're going to prison.
Period.
You can count on that. There's no in between unless you stop living a criminal lifestyle. You know. So what prison did to me made me came home a better criminal. I just became a better criminal. Not in terms of escaping the law, but in terms of destroying things in my path that I didn't agree with. You know what I mean? So violence was a problem solving tool for me and the majority of majority of the young men that I engaged with. You know what I mean? And that violence brings trauma. You know
Wow.
what I mean? So and a lot of us were living in trauma and didn't know it. You know, so a lot of our responses were trauma responses. You know, and not knowing how to think, not having an internal locus. If anybody watching would look that up, not having an internal locus, that's psychology, which means um, anything that keeps you from doing that. You know, a restraint response. You know, I didn't have that. It was all gas. It was no brakes. It wasn't no. If you challenged me or you did anything that I didn't like or I considered a threat to me, I did something. You know, I responded, and it may have been a trauma response. You know what I mean? But that's where education comes in because not only did I know better, I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I just didn't have the discipline or the strength not to do it. I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I was a young kid. I'm impulsive. My brain wasn't fully developed. Your brain isn't fully developed till you're 25. So you're still impulsive. You know what I mean? You're still doing things um you know for selfish reasons, man, for self-satisfaction. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and unfortunately that caused a lot of damage in my community, and people that follow behind me also committed a lot of violence in my community. You know what I mean?
Cliff, you got something?
Yeah, see, I grew up, like I said, I went to skill center, preschool, Maverick Stedman, when he said first, second, Kyle Owens, kick hard as sack. But I migrated, I went to G Parkway School, all the schools in Oak Grove, and I used to hang with Rupert and Nucci and JD Kane and all them, and their mom and all them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I was a 916 All-Star. But, it was always
Mm-hmm.
work. But I let him lose to death. You know what I'm saying? Nucci's going to get my name sweat out at the end of the day because a lot of people can't do what I did. And I used to bring all the hoods together.
You can consider Clifford a diplomat. So you can consider him a diplomat. You can consider him having what's called tact, if anybody would understand that, right? And that's the ability to deal with other human beings in a way that benefits him and benefits others. So if you're likable like that, he's always been that type of guy. I'm not that type of guy. Although I have friends everywhere, I was partial to where I'm from exclusively, but I have friends everywhere. You know what I mean? I do have friends in the South area because my uncle is. And I remember when they built the South area. I remember everybody moved out there, got them houses and moved out there. You know what I mean? So,
I was
yeah.
different. So I was driving to school in the 6th grade, 7th grade,
Mm-hmm.
saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ECI, like the only 6th grader out of high school.
Yeah.
That's why I knew a lot of people. And like I get picked up from Toby Paradise, uh, Tarico and them from LA, Dog,
Mm-hmm.
all the P people, Monk. So I was like, I was everywhere. But I was a P baby. I was gonna rent the Royal at 13, 14,
Mm-hmm.
security guards. So I always had it good, but also did a lot of dirt, a lot of gang banging, pumpkins. And that's why I came up with They Gon' Hate. Because people used to always hate me over brawls and stuff. And they hated me because Clifford did with all these neighborhoods and stuff. But they don't know building neighborhoods is the best thing happened to me in my life. Because they
Yeah.
saved me a million times and I saved them.
Exactly. And piggybacking on what Clifford said, right? Money's cool. Everybody, strive for money. The best thing in your life is gonna be relationships. Right? That is gonna be what enriches human beings' life, not money, because you have all the money in the world, don't have no relationships, and you have an empty life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So relationships enrich your life, and contrary to popular belief, life isn't supposed to be easy. It's not supposed. It wasn't created to be that way, right? So in all human history, there's two things that go on: challenge and response. There's a challenge and there's a response to that challenge, right? So um, understanding that we have that history, like Clifford says, but understanding that he's talented enough to deal with a lot of other people that other people can't deal with. You know what I mean? So that's a gift that he has. You know, that's a gift that he has, and he's blessed to have that gift, and I'm proud of him for going out here, and because it take a lot of maturity to do what he does. You know what I mean? A lot of people, aren't emotionally intelligent enough to do that. You know what I mean? And that's another thing we lack in our community: emotional intelligence and emotional regulation. Because a lot of us young men at the time were raised by women. Being raised by women and not having a man in the house doesn't give you that masculinity that you should have as a young man. So you act like your mom, you scream, you have a quick temper, you're quick to do something, right? And that's a feminine thought, feminine way of thinking. Men are supposed to be restrained. Men are supposed to restrain themselves and be in control.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that unfortunately creates a lot of homicides, creates a lot of violence because these people our young men don't have that internal control mechanism because they didn't have the males that taught them to do that.
Like
Man,
me,
that's good.
I grew up around 1,000 women. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Both sides, the family from Oak Park, grandma, mom, everybody, dad, everybody, and about 1,000 girl cousins. So I was always like the main cousin as the boys. But all my cousins, they was all messing with the ballers, grinding, hustling, fighting, doing all stuff. So I was raised in it. But like I said, I always had a good heart. And I was always a protector. I was like always one to protect all my homeboys. I ain't gonna be with the whole P and see the guy from Meadowview, 29th Street, Creek, Flats, or anything, and say, act like I don't know you. So a lot of people do that, and that causes a lot of BS. See, I
A lot of
was never like,
division.
they used to be like, man, Clifford messed with all the hoods and all that, but Clifford saves a lot of us, and I got saved for doing that.
Exactly.
Now, Mark, so so what your last prison run, when you got out the very last time, what made you be like, you know what, I'm not going back, I'm gonna do this, this, and that? Talk about how your life changed or what.
Unfortunately, I was locked up. I was captured and locked up for for a frivolous nonviolent crime for constructive possession of a firearm. I did 25 years 24 years 7 months
For a firearm?
for a gun, yeah, for 3 strikes case. So I ended up I was a perfect candidate for 3 strikes. They gave it to me. They've been trying to get me forever. And unfortunately, I gave myself to them by continuing to be in that, being a lifestyle. You know what I mean? So being in the community, keeping a weapon. You know what I mean? Keep selling drugs, hustling. You know what I mean? In that lifestyle with all my what I've been doing for 20 something years. It's the same behavior. You know what I mean? And everything's about behavior.
Right.
So behavior is going to be the common denominator when it comes to these kids, when it comes to these young men, and when it comes to us older men changing our lives, right? It's still going to come down to behavior.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I decided to change my behavior. I decided to change my mind. And I've always been like a guy that likes to learn. So that life didn't serve me no more. So that's what changed my life. It does not serve me to be that way. You know, that life had me being away from my daughters that I couldn't protect. You know what I mean? Being away from my mom, I couldn't protect. And I'm a protector. I'm a warrior. So not being here for my daughters, it was especially painful for me. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't protect them. That's very difficult for a man like me. So not being wanting to be away from them and not being wanting to be a part of destroying my community. That's what made me change my behavior. Them 24 years 7 months was a incubator and a thought. All it did was pressure, bust pipes, or it makes you into a diamond or makes you a better person, right? Me, I love pressure. Me, the more difficult things are for me, I like difficult things because those are the things that are going to stay with you. If it's easy, it's no good. It's not worthwhile. Anything worthwhile is it's a difficult process. If you want that, it's difficult. You understand what I'm saying? So struggle's mandated. Without no struggle, there is no progress. So, it just made me want to change my life, man, to be, a better man for my kids, for myself, and for my future, my community. You know what I mean? So would be in me to be an idiot to come home and behave the same way that I did. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for different results. There are no different results. The
Right.
results are the results are the same. You continue to behave like this, you will continue to be incarcerated, going to jail, getting shot, going to the graveyard, or going to penitentiary. Simple as that.
Right.
Like
Cliff, you
me,
said the
like
same
Simple.
me.
thing about you was missing you when you went. You had a kid too, right? You was
I had
like,
my first two at 14 and 15. Then as I got
Mhm.
older, I was still on the streets. And like when your daughters and stuff tell you that you missed their first boyfriends, when they had babies right there and missed graduations and all that, you get mentally messed up in the head. Like, dang, what am I doing? What am I doing? You think you the shit. But like I said, I had my mom and dad, I had my grandmas and all that. I don't blame them for nothing I did. I blame Clifford McDowell, me,
Mhm.
because I choose to be a follower. I choose
Mhm.
to go after the older cats because I was in school. My mom picked me up to school every day. My mom signed me up to 1,000 schools. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Out of Sacramento, came right back.
Choices.
It's choices.
Yeah,
Exactly.
choices, man.
People, parents sometimes like your kids when they grinding, getting money, this and that, but it comes with consequences.
Yes, it does.
I tried my mom in the hospital, stabbed mom in the hospital, crying to death. You know what I'm saying? I always did what I wanted. Ran away with my sister, this and that. But I had my family there. I choose to be a follower. I did.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah. So, so both of you guys are involved. I mean, one more. Let me know if I'm wrong or not. Cliff, I know you're involved with the youth, right?
Yeah.
Mark, are you also? Um, I know you. Are you doing something with the youth too, or what?
Yeah, I work with the youth.
Okay.
With my daughter, we got an organization called Missing Our Mom, and it's a missingourmom.org, and it's a CBO, community based organization. We do mentoring. And we just finished the workbook. You know what I mean? I wrote my book too. I got a book I wrote as well, just
Mhm.
like Clifford. But I'm always involved with the youth. With me, with my philosophy and the things that I live by and the principles I live by, the babies are the greatest. And it's a duty and a responsibility for us to say the babies, right? So I'm always speaking and mentoring and giving people advice about doing the right thing. From my little bros like Clifford. I got a few brothers that I talk to regularly about community violence intervention, right?
Mhm.
So um, I am constantly involved in things like that. You know what I mean? So that is a lifelong work for me. I'll always do that to the day I die, right? And just wrote me and my daughter put together a book for system impacted families.
Workbook
Right?
for system. Okay. It's a
Yes, ma'am.
workbook. It's a
Yes, it
workbook.
is. Yes, it is. And
Okay.
it's actually a mental health guide. It's actually a map for critical thinking. It's actually a 7-week program to teach you how to avoid the pitfalls of the system. Because unfortunately, the system is designed against us, whether it's the CPS, whether it's the county, whether it's the criminal justice system, whatever system that
Mhm.
these people have that we are involved in is designed against us.
Oh yeah.
And until our people recognize that, they'll continue to be victims of the system, right? But once you understand what the systems is and how they're made and designed to
Mhm.
keep us in certain situations, then you can fight the system by infiltrating the system and changing it from within, like the book, The Spook That Sat by the Door. Can't do it with violence, right? You can't. That's how they trick you into that. They tricked us into that in the '60s and killed the leaders, right? The name of the game with them, with us, is to educate ourselves and to infiltrate the system to change it from within. To put our people in position to change policy and change things that affect us, because policy was designed to keep us out of these systems. Whether it's healthcare, the reason why you don't have universal healthcare, they did not want to give it to black people. You understand what I'm saying? The reason why you don't have a free education is because they did not want black people and brown people to have education. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that need to be educated with our people and understand what we need to do as far as these kids go coming up now, because now they on with the social media. So now we are in a battle for the minds of our kids, because these people are grabbing the minds of these kids, playing with these algorithms and thinking it's cool to be on social media, engaging in criminal behavior, showing guns, gang banging. That was never supposed to be out in the open for everybody to see you do. You know, that's buffoonery. So you take us back to the days of Step and Fetch It and these people that they call house niggas. Things like that. So our people are suffering from what's called menticide, right? You got homicide, which is killing a human being, right? Fratricide is killing your family. You know what I mean? Or matricide killing your mother. You know what I mean? Menticide is killing your brain.
Yeah.
And this is what is going on with our young people, because they think it is okay to follow this social media trend. This is not, we didn't create social media. We don't own it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But they use it to influence the culture.
That's what
And
messes up for everybody. Social media
yeah, exactly. And
destroys.
what is culture? What is culture? So the definition of culture is what you see and what you say, right? Your words, ways, and actions are your culture. You dig what I'm saying? So if your ways, words, and actions are concerned with death and destruction, ignorance, not controlling yourself, not educating yourself, then what do you think that the community will be like 10 years from now when these babies are grown and they got babies? So who have their mind? You understand what I'm saying? I'm growing up, me and you, in the black exploitation era when they did it with movies, Superfly to Mac,
Foxy
all
Brown.
these movies, all these movies that they put in the community to encourage you to behave like this. It's
Mm-hmm.
called black exploitation. They make money off of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to encourage you to go to jail. Now it's a song, right? So, we are the only human beings on earth that make music exclusively about killing each other.
Right.
How is that socially redeemable? And it's promoted by the powers that be. It's promoted by the powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make a song about killing a dog.
But
You
you
can't
know
get on here and say you're gonna kill a dog everywhere you go, but they're gonna shut you down. You can't play that. You can't make a song about killing a white person every day. They're gonna shut you down. But it's okay to make a song about killing somebody black or brown. That's acceptable behavior to give to these kids.
What are you gonna
And
say?
to make
say I'm a rapper and I got a problem with Mark and I rap about Mark. Then you got people taking sides, but y'all know Mark too. And we all know each other, but guess what? Me and Mark gonna be cool one day.
exactly.
And everybody that took sides is gonna be the enemy then. That's why I teach people don't take sides now. Right now,
Exactly.
ego and pride and taking sides will destroy you in the long run.
Ego is the number one killer. Pride gonna kill you too, but your ego, like that's why I say emotional intelligence, right? If these men my age, Clifford's age, unity is key anyway, right? We can't do nothing without unity, right?
Right.
And we are the most fractured out here. We don't have a lot of unity because, like I said, the mentality of these young men is, when you have a feminine mentality, these young men are hating on each other for very minute reasons, right?
Right.
And understanding that if you have a minute mind, right? So minute thinkers become vicious haters. Vicious. Because if they don't want to see Clifford winning, they'll think of a way to sabotage him, to do anything. And that's not having an infinite mindset. You understand what I'm saying? Seeing the whole playing field for what it is, man. And for what it is this is my brother. We, no matter what we got going on, we are a community in crisis out here, right? And we should be denying the criminal justice system or any other system that destroys our family from accessing our children. We should deny them access to that. They
Well,
deny us access to shit. We should deny the system access that our children. Those are the most important resources we have on this earth are the babies.
yeah.
And those are the ones that those are the most valuable resources in our community. These kids, man.
Do
So
you,
we
do you
have a
know what?
duty and a responsibility to save these kids.
You
Simple as
have
that.
you have no real homies. Like I can get to somebody right now, that Mark know and I know, and he's gonna tell me the right stuff and preach it the right way to the fact I'm not gonna feel like a punk, a bitch, or none of that. Because you got homies that be right next to you in this ear right here and influence you to trick yourself off the streets over a petty argument, over a petty disagreement, and then you taking sides for no reason, and we all from the same place. We all black at the end of the day. I deal with
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento. I'm from the P, Fourth, lived in P, born and raised right there, but I migrate to deal with everybody, and I love it because
Mm-hmm.
I saved lives and they saved me before. And you
Exactly.
can't take sides because I'm not going to go against the dude I grew up with. For what? He didn't do anything to me, this on you.
Mhm.
Exactly. And we gotta like Clifford say, man, Clifford doing the right thing. You got a lot of brothers out here. You got a little Juice doing the right thing out here. Julius Doug. You got a lot of brothers out here that are doing the work out here that I wish everybody would participate in because what what people don't understand is the same way that we can hook up, get together, and so-called slide on somebody, get together, have a group of people to go do something to somebody. You can get a group of people to go start a business.
I'm going to tell you some real stuff right now.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you know,
Simple as that.
you still know who got one foot in, one foot out. People be scared to like your pictures. People be scared to comment your pictures. People
Hmm.
only talk to you when they see you, but then
Exactly.
you're around them, they try to act like they're on the phone, go the other way. If I know you and deal with you, I'm talking to you. I've been like that all
Exactly.
my life. I'm not acting funny with nobody I deal with. And like so you gonna have real homeboys that's gonna salute you. If homeboys see you doing good, they don't salute you, they're your associate. They hate you for no reason. Because if I see Mark doing good, I'm not dragging him into nothing. Cliff, why you
Hmm.
tell me what happened? I'm not telling you what happened because I know how you is. Now I'm not gonna let
Hmm.
you trick yourself on the street. It's me and them two grown men. People don't do that
Exactly.
because they want everybody to participate. When you participate with violence, you're gonna be in jail, sitting there, and then all BS come with it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And nobody, you know, in the end wins.
No,
In the end, right? Because regardless of what everybody thinks, all of us, all of our issues, all the things that we grow up with, all of our experiences, citywide or nationwide, but really let's just put it in Sacramento. All of our experiences are relative, right? And that's the key word, relative. That means they're related to one another. Everybody has these same experiences.
Mhm.
Everybody has felt the trauma. Everybody has dealing with people in our family with mental health issues. Everybody's dealt with poverty. Everybody's dealt with drug addiction. Everybody's dealt with violence, death, domestic violence, all this stuff, man. All the kids not listening. So our experiences are related to one another, right? Which means we should all be trying to solve them together,
yes,
like we're related.
And you know what? Going back to what you were saying, when I drive up Southern Boulevard and stuff, you see the Asians, they got things. Now,
Unity.
Foreign Mall Square is up for sale. And I was telling someone, I bet you that
Mhm.
it's going to be bought by another nationality. Okay.
Everybody black should come together and put their money together and buy it.
but you know
Collective economics will get you further. You don't have to like Clifford. You ain't got to like me. They
right.
don't got to like a leader. Together is strength, man. Unity is strength, right? It is always strength and unity.
Mhm.
Always. And this is what our enemy knows. This is why he keeps us divided. And people go for it. We the most divided race on this earth, man. So until we come together and unify what we trying to do, we gonna always keep struggling. So we have to come together for survival, or the next generation is gonna be lost. You did what we gonna do then? If we don't have no young men out here to say these daughters and these babies, then what's gonna happen to the women out here?
And you know what else too? We're the most questionable folks too, because I said Howard Avenue is like a ghost town.
Man,
Jack in the Box, the Red Lobster, all them buildings, you know what I mean? And
Empty.
yeah, empty, boarded up.
Mm.
You know what I
because you
mean?
know why? It's so bad out there. About 10 years ago, they arrested like 80 prostitutes under the age
I
of
remember
16.
that.
Under
Yeah, but
under the, under the age of 16.
why wasn't somebody like, the businesses, businesses going there,
Mm.
say, figure out how to, instead of asking, all these questions and stuff,
Yeah, be
put some
proactive. Is
action
what
to it
that's what you
and
said.
say,
Be proactive. Be
Alita,
proactive in your community.
yeah, Alita, can you find, who the commercial person is, see what we can do, how much is the
Mm-hmm.
lease? But, it's just like, it gets to be crickets. And, there's business, there's so
Nah,
much,
it's
there's business money,
everybody
all kinds of
everybody
stuff.
worries about what people think. That's why I like Juice. I love Juice to death, nephew, because he's younger than everybody, but he's seeing the challenge and he's taking the challenge and he sees
He's
he's gonna
responding to it.
you're gonna get hated on. They like they say, Clifford did with all the neighborhoods, okay, but you're always gonna have one dude out of the group gonna say, what that means? So what? Clifford, the reason why a
Yeah.
lot of us can walk and do this and go to the neighborhoods because a lot of people talk so bad of me going to the Heights, Meadowview, G Park, with this and that. But you take one person with you, they're gonna be like, God damn, this how y'all having fun kicking it. And they all respect you and love you. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because your own neighborhood hates you more than the outsiders. Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody got an equal pride in you. If you got a better car than him, he hates you. If you walking, he love you. If you helping
Mm-hmm.
everybody, they hate you. If you're knocking if you fucking bros, they hate you. It's all hate for no reason.
Yeah, we got to change the narrative, right? In the like I say, most of the hate come from just being a small minded person, man. Like we gotta expand. Like Alita said, when you look at all these vacant buildings around here, Sacramento, you got to remember again, it's racist, man. So I don't care
Right.
what Sacramento's racist, so they don't pay livable wages out here, right? The number one, um, you know, that something that drives crime, right? The number one thing that drives crime is poverty, right? Poverty drives crime, right? So if
Right.
they paid everybody a livable wage in Sacramento, you would have less crime, right?
Yeah.
If you paid Clifford, me, Juice, my daughter, anybody else out here to go out here and open these places up for these kids, get these kids grants to give them somewhere to go, recording studios. Like you don't have the arts no more in school, right? They took everybody back when I went to school in Alita. You left high school with a trade. You can go to high school and become a mechanic. You can become a welder. You can become a plumber in high school. Back when I went to, none of that's in high school no more. That means you can leave high school and make $100,000 with a trade, a plumber. You know how much plumbers make? You know how much plumbers make? That's a certification. That ain't even school. That ain't even college. That's a certification, a
Right.
vocational certification, bro. You would be able to make 200,000 a year as a plumber. Nobody's going to jail making 200,000 a year. You can take care of your family with 200,000 a year. So we got to look at the big picture, man. And the big picture is nobody's coming to save us. Only we saving us. The police not
Right.
saving us. Only we save us, man. So this is a beautiful thing to come on here and be live and talk to Clifford, talk to Alita, and like I said, show this workbook and show that we have answers and solutions for our problems. We just need to put them together in a plan of action. We have solutions. We know what to do. We just need everybody to participate. We need people to participate. Put aside their differences, like Clifford said. Put the ego aside. You can't win doing that. Put your pride aside. You can't win doing that, right?
Show more support and stuff. Now I'm gonna say this, and because I'm a big fan of JDK. He's watching right now.
The
Mhm.
underboss. The under
JDK, and no, and I'm just
Who is JDK? Can I know? Can I know who JDK is?
he's
Rupert Nucci little brother. My
Oh,
nigga
okay,
right there.
okay,
yeah,
okay.
he goes out, he networks. He got the Sack Report magazine.
Yes, you do.
You know what I
Man,
mean?
I like that.
But he pushes. He's out there networking. He ain't out doing, I don't know, as soon as he already knows, as soon as my funds and stuff get right, I promise I'm gonna do that ad. But we need to start supporting more.
Yes, we do.
People handing out everything else. I never see anybody,
That's like me. I started 916 Community Alliance. I started that to bring our neighborhoods together. But guess what? You always got that one person, that bunch, don't like him. Just because you don't like him, that means the whole circle, the table can't like him. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but see that's what we got to get over,
Mark,
Clifford.
you
They're
said
not
some-
liking somebody, right?
But you said the real stuff ever, Mark.
Yeah,
Everybody don't have to like that person.
they don't got to like you at all to do business with you.
But we doing a movement. So what's the problem? Just because you don't like him, then guess what? Once he bounce, everybody follow suit. They followers. We grown. Why used to be somebody got to learn how to talk to people and know what we trying to do to save lives, man.
But guess what? The other races, they don't like each other either, but they support and put their money
Yes,
in the
they
pot
do.
together.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because they understand what's called cooperative economics, collective economics, right? Black people need to educate themselves on collective economics, right? Cooperative economics. You ain't got to be my friend for us to get power, right? Power is not a gun. It's not money. These people have unity, right? And they know how to vote. Like I was telling Clifford before, if we would have voted and got Dr. Flo into the mayor's office,
I love Flo.
Me too.
if we would have got her, she barely lost. But every person in the state in Sacramento needs to go register to vote, because if you can vote, you can put somebody in city council. You can vote your homie on the city council. You can give contracts to every CBO in this city, right? It's just getting these people lock us out of that because they make you think it's unpopular to do that. It's not unpopular. It's not unpopular to do that. Gangsters go to the polls. Let me say this right now. Gangsters take care of their kids. That's some gangster shit. Gangster protect these women, and gangster guide these kids away from prison. You understand what I'm saying? Guide these kids away from death and destruction, man, by guiding them to life. Speak life into them. Don't speak death into them. Simple as that. Speak life into the babies, man. Guide the baby somewhere out of where the devils is putting, anytime we get in that system, that's the devil. Because they don't care nothing about us, man. They've been killing us for hundreds of years over here. Systematically, right? On three different levels: healthcare, criminal justice, and finance, jobs. All these are designed against us, right? So we should design a plan of action, to combat that. And you got to combat it with knowledge. You can't do it just by you talking about. You gotta put it together, man. You got to put knowledge in action. You got to do it. Like this workbook we put together. You have to do that.
So now so let me ask you, you have the workbook, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you guys gonna be doing workshops, and
No, these are books. This is a program that I would have to facilitate, and it's empowerment. It's a life. So I'll read the 7 jewels, right? So Missing Our Mom has 7 jewels. 7 jewels empowers you with life, values, and leadership skills, right? Unity, we rise together. It's number 1. Accountability, we own our choices. Like we talk about choices here, right? Growth, every challenge grows us. Remember I said challenge and response, right? Respect, honor self and community, right? It starts with you. To loving yourself, teach other people how to love you, right? Because you got to love yourself first, right? Right? Resilience, struggle into power, right? There is no progress without struggle, right? Integrity, truth, and discipline. Discipline will beat talent every time, and always be true. And whatever you doing, the truth don't change. I don't care where it's at, right? Love, compassion transforms. Love is the strongest thing in the universe, right? In the Bible, if you're a Christian or like Miss Alita says, she wake up, she talk to Jesus. So in the Bible, it tells you love is stronger than death. So what you doing with it? If it's stronger than death, death is strong, but love is stronger than that. What you doing with your love, man? Who you giving it to? Who you reciprocating it with? You understand what I'm saying? And and
Absolutely.
and as human beings, understand you have three type of people in your life. You have constituents, right? You have fame. You have constituents. You have comrades. You have confidants, right? So Clifford might have a comrade. That just means y'all got the same enemy. That's it. You're not my. You don't have to be. You're not my friend, man. We are
Okay.
comrades
I love
because
that.
we have a common enemy. That's it, right? Constituents are fans. Confidants are who you keep next to. You can tell your secrets to. You can tell your personal business to, and then people aren't going to go tell your business, and they're not going to use what you tell them as a weakness against you. So you need to fill your life with confidants. Leave everybody else on the outside, man. That
Right.
keeps the tree growing. That waters you, man. But the constituents and the comrades, let them stay where they at. You need confidence. You need confidence in your life, man.
What are you gonna
You
say,
understand what I'm
Cliff?
saying?
No, you're right. Because that's what I said. I didn't learn that. I didn't learn that the hard way. Like, choose your friends right, man. You can kick with a dude all day long. That's why I said people shouldn't take sides because you're gonna mess up taking a side. I promise you. You take sides, you mess up. Then that's why I say I don't call you my friend no more. My brother, my cousin. You're associate.
Exactly. Unless you are my brother. Unless you are my, you see
You're
what I'm saying?
associate. That's why. That's
Unless I
why
distinguish you as that, then you'll be that.
that's
You
why. That's
understand what
why
I'm
people
saying?
say. That's
So
why people
so
say nephew, uncle, and all that because sometimes your people that ain't your family is really your family. That
yeah, well,
way more than your family, and they gonna hate. And jealousy is crazy,
it's
and
a
people don't
disease out here.
and people don't support each other. We don't get no support. Oh, he from Oak Park. He from Meadowview, 29th Street Heights, so he ain't gonna support.
Yeah,
I
we
had the
gotta
most
rise
fun.
above
I
that.
had so
That
much.
keeps
I
us.
had so much fun in the Heights, in G Parkway, and Meadowview, and all these
Mhm,
dudes. You'd be surprised how you look at a person wrong until you hang with that person. Because you go
mhm,
by what this dude say. You don't even know Mark. They got the fuck you talking about him. Because you don't have nobody
mhm,
gonna stick up for your homie.
mhm,
Because they're gonna
mhm.
listen to it because you're not a real friend. I'm not gonna let
Yeah.
nobody talk about Mark. Anybody you ain't supposed to let nobody talk about Clifford. How people don't like
Mhm,
Clifford, I get along with everybody.
mhm.
But
If you're not in the room with a man,
behind my back,
if you
behind my
know
back, they talk about me, trying not to bro,
exactly.
hating on me the baby mamas. I'm like, this don't make sense.
Exactly. So like I was saying, right? Unity, we rise together, we build bridges across pain, generations, and communities to create collective healing and strength, right? A
For
lot
real.
of us haven't grieved, we haven't healed, and a lot of responses that you see Clifford talking, those are trauma responses. Cats don't even know they living in trauma.
And I
A lot
went
of
through all
cats
that.
don't even know they living like that, man. A lot of these cats are living in survival mode, right?
Damn.
And when you live in a survival mode, you're not a thinker, right? You're making impulsive decisions to survive. You understand what I'm saying? And living in survival is not living. You know what I mean? You're just walking through life surviving. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and and that doesn't benefit no one, right? So understanding mental health is real, and we also got to get rid of that stigma and understanding people afraid to deal with their mental health. That's the number one thing you should be dealing with is your mental health, because
Right.
that's how you dealing with the world.
Yeah.
That's how you see the world. That's how you navigate. That's how you dealing with your kids, man. If that's like Clifford, like I seen some on the internet. They say you had the preacher. He said, "Man, it takes a village to raise a child, but what if the village is retarded?
That part. You know something funny?
What do we do when the village is retarded?"
That's real. It's like me. I was the first football coach out of my generation. Baseball, basketball.
Exactly.
I did
Exactly.
all. And the person that got me to coach is somebody coached me. And I was the first one to have a landscaping
Exactly.
business. And the person that told me your landscape, he said, Clifford, ain't you tired of gang banging and selling dope? And the person that got me to coach, I was 19 years old, coaching the Vikings. I got Manny Fresh, Root Dog, Never.
Exactly.
And I had Jude on the team, Sydney. I had all of my young nephews on the Vikings, and we had people on that team from every neighborhood, every
Exactly.
neighborhood. But I was the first coach at everybody at the gang banging world.
Yeah,
Wow.
we gotta look, and we gotta like I say, man, we got to really, really, really.
On Gaffler, can't forget Gaffler. All of us coached and Manny Fresh. We coached the Vikings
Mm-hmm.
14U. All of
Mm-hmm.
us. And everybody was tripping off that. And I was coaching Pee Wee, my own little brother. But
Yeah.
people know I'm still coaching to this day. And that saved my life. I may have went to jail in
Mm-hmm.
the meantime, but I love to do that.
Wow.
Exactly. And that's something we need to continue doing. And there's a thing called life coaching.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
People need to be coached in life, man. You know, I don't say I got it all together, but I know I know this. I know you won't be tricking me into doing nothing. You know, I'm too
Oh yeah.
decisive for that. I'm too much of a thinker for that. I'm too much of a mastermind for you to manipulate me. Long as you don't do nothing to nobody I love, that's the only thing that really is a caveat for me, man. I try to be nice out here, but man, you know, I just don't want nobody doing that to nobody I love because I'm just not I'm you know very protective over my kids. So
Do you know another thing? The problem is,
uh,
a person can talk about somebody, and a person sit right there and just listen. I can't do that with Mark. I can't do that with Danny. I can't do that with Doug. I can't do that with all the people I did with the Clemmies and just all the older people, the Nigels. Because
mhm.
somebody that care about you, they're gonna tell you something right to make
Yeah,
you
they is.
second
Yeah,
thought
they
think
is.
yourself. Because a lot of people like, man, fuck that nigga. Let's go get him. And
No,
in
keep
my
them.
thing, like,
Don't
man,
keep yes men around you, man. Always
right.
keep somebody that's gonna tell you the truth. And
Right.
don't have if you have a yes man, that's not your friend, man.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Me and Jay Ram, me and arguing at McDonald's drive through. He said, "Man, if you keep arguing me, I'm gonna pop this nigga." I said, "Go ahead." He said, "Nigga, I knew you didn't like me, but I was playing. Cause we together to
Mm-hmm.
this day. Me and Jay Ram been together since elementary school. Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
Baptist Conception.
Exactly.
I got my same friends to this day, from Vikings,
Exactly.
Raiders, NYSP,
Exactly.
from South to the P to the Heights, everybody.
Mm-hmm. And like Clifford said, man, I really, really want to reiterate this. If you listening to this and you on this live, you check this out. If you anybody to come from this lifestyle, man, you got a duty and a responsibility to say to these kids.
Man,
You got a duty and a responsibility to speak life into these kids, man, and not be sending these kids to sit up in these people's courtroom to get um to get taken away from your people, man. That is very inappropriate, and nobody should be not participating in helping save these kids, man.
man,
That is the number one thing we need to be doing out here, and the parents need to be making sure that you're on your kids, man. Make sure that make sure that they check their social media. Make sure that they're not putting illegal behavior on social media. I was just told by somebody, you know, close to my daughter that works with SAC probation and works with the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office, work with these kids. They're now using artificial intelligence and facial recognition on all the social media in Sacramento.
I was about to ask you guys, what did you guys think of AI,
They're
now?
using it now on the kids. So now what they do now is they don't even watch it no more. What they do now is they let the algorithm watch it and they look for keywords and facial rec. So if that word that they see, if there's a keyword they recognize, they send that straight to the police. With the facial recognition, they identify 'em that easy. This is the times and this is what we living in, right? Crime in a minute, you ain't gonna be to do no crime because they have cameras everywhere.
hold up.
You ain't gonna be to do nothing. You ain't gonna be. They gonna watch you and they want it like that. This is what because then they can navigate what kind of job you got. Then they can navigate what you do, and they watching you. Recognize everything you do, man. This is what we live. We living in a time of Big Brother, and it's not a game. It's not a joke. It's now. It's here, right?
Right.
So these kids need to be getting involved in STEM, science, technology, math. You need to be. Everybody need to be STEMing. Everybody need to teach these kids technology to understand what you're going to be dealing with in the future because what they got us dealing with is they got the black women on TV showing their booties and fighting.
And it crossing everybody
And
up. A
yeah,
woman,
and then they got the dudes talking about killing each other every day.
and a woman say that to you and report what you said to him
Exactly.
and act like she's innocent. Woman to
Yeah,
get you killed.
and that's just the drama. That's the drama that you have out here that our communities have digressed into.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We haven't had a lot of progress. We've had a lot of digression. You know what I mean? They're doing worse now than when I grew up. Me and you grew up way better economically than they are now.
Yeah.
Sometimes like
Where the
it's like
two-parent households at? Where the owners
barely.
at? We used to we owned all the houses in Oak Park.
Yeah, that's like
We don't own none of that shit.
that's like my sister and them. They used to didn't tell me what they go through because a real woman that want to see you safe and out of jail, they're not gonna tell you unless you're there.
Yeah, they don't
But
want you there. They
women
shouldn't
will
want you
get you
there.
killed.
Yeah, yeah.
A real woman is never gonna try to cross you over, never put you in harm's way, and they if they know how you are.
Exactly.
9% of people out here go to jail for a woman, and like a little homie got killed the other day. The brother killed him, or whoever
Yeah.
killed him. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So we gotta, you know, we got work to do,
it's
right?
obvious. Like you're doing
Yeah.
some stupid shit, and you know what type of nigga your people is.
Yeah.
And like I said, we got
Stop
work
thinking
to
that.
do, but we can do the work. That's the thing. We
Right?
got to do the work. It's hard, but we can do it, man. It's possible. Things change. Knowledge is the foundation of everything in existence. So get the knowledge. Don't reject it. You know what I mean? And don't encourage nobody
No.
to get involved with the system, and don't encourage nobody to destroy no kids, man, or destroy themselves. The kids are the greatest, and we need to be working to save them. That's just the bottom line, man. And we need to tell these women to and these men to supervise your kids. Watch your
That's it.
kids, man.
Man, I'm
Don't let
telling
the internet babysit your kids.
you, man.
Go outside, put them involved in sports, get them. You know, they don't even teach people how to play instruments no more.
No,
Teach
I
that's
it,
go.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see the
teach,
picture
yeah,
that
man. Get the kids
where
the art. They taking every. They don't even teach cursive in school no more,
I
no.
right?
see this picture
So,
right now.
yeah,
Go
there's
ahead.
a dumbing down on purpose. There's a dumbing down on purpose, and then there's a computer algorithm to teach you uncivilized behavior on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is done on. This is not an accident that our communities are in this right here. It's not an accident. These people don't give a fuck about us. The police don't care nothing about what you do or who you know. Long as they got action that you going to jail and them getting paid, right? And then understanding this, if everybody knows the police was created to control us. Only way you got police and it's to control black people. That's
That's it.
it. That's
This
the
is another
reason
thing too.
why they were created. The slave patrols.
We out here trying to save kids and make
Yeah,
it
say,
easy.
come on, man.
We trying
Wake
to
up.
save kids and make it easy, but it won't be no problem. So every time police see a motherfucker, oh, he's a black man arrested.
They ain't harassing the motherfucker.
First thing
Exactly.
everybody says, "Oh, you guys doing this non-profit? Y'all do this? Y'all deal with this? Nah, get involved. You see, it ain't like that.
Get involved.
Get
Everybody need
involved.
to get involved.
Get involved.
And
You see
don't
for
pay
yourself.
attention to nobody knocking
It's
nobody.
that one person in the group out of
Yeah,
7.
don't
It's the
yeah,
one.
don't
Yeah, I ain't
care
fucking
about
niggas.
that, man.
The niggas doing this, doing that. Nah, man. We trying to bring shit together. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Period.
So,
We did real quick. We did it. Merv Brookins did a thing at his building. We had like 7 people, different neighborhoods: G Parkway, Meadowview, the Heights, Oak Park. He said, "All y'all bring 7 kids." It was like 30 kids in there. Every person ever biting their fingernails. Oh, Valley High too. Everybody brought 7 kids. I mean, the dudes biting their fingernails off. Them dudes that know each other, everybody there mugging each other. But at the end of the day, it was so tight. It was 30 kids from different neighborhoods shaking hands because you know what? Meet and greet needs to happen once a month.
Networking, man. Networking. Your
Tell you why,
network
I'm gonna tell you why
is
they
your
have it.
net worth,
Yeah,
man.
like me, I played for the Vikings and the Raiders. That wasn't an Oak Park team, a Meadowview team, 29th Street team. It was an all-star team. Every hood on every team. And I grew up cool with all the same dudes.
mhm.
Yeah, and what you got to say, Alita?
I was gonna say that you know, I was married and became a single mama too. My son, he had the Richmond SWAT team,
Yeah.
but God set him down for about, 6 months. I fought for him, got, paid for attorney, but while he was in there, I was sending him motivational stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you
Exactly.
got this. And guess what? Look out now. He owns 2 barbershops,
Come
what I
on,
mean?
man.
And stuff, but I was encouraging him. A lot of times these kids or, their children go to jail and they're like still being, even mothers are being mean, talking crazy to them and stuff like that. You still got to encourage them, like,
But you got to teach the
we got
mothers. See,
that.
this is where
Right.
the emotional regulation, emotional intelligence come in,
Parenting
right?
classes, man.
Yeah, this is where the parenting classes, and you got to understand this right here. Where the book clubs at, right? Where the book clubs at? Where the chess clubs at, right?
We
So,
got a homie for to do that homework.
exactly. Do a chess club and do a
Yeah.
book club where these brothers need to read because they had a saying. You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book, right?
Yeah.
That's a saying. That's a saying.
Oh, it
And
is. Yeah.
yeah, and knowledge, right? Knowledge is gonna expand Like math is like this, right?
Mhm.
Math is like this. So you see this cup right here? It's the depth. So the depth of your knowledge, and then you take the top off the cup, and it's round, right? This round provides the circumference of your activity.
Mhm.
So that means you only do what you know.
Mhm.
The depth of your knowledge provides the circumference of your activity. You can't go outside that circle if you don't know how to do it.
Mhm.
So you need to teach these because they stuck. If you don't have the knowledge, you can't go out of that. You shouldn't be the smartest person in the room. You should be somewhere where you can learn something from someone.
Yeah.
Everybody should be taking these kids to learn something from someone. Have a book club. Don't be learn how to be a plumber. Learn how to be an electrician. Learn how to do HVAC. Learn things that will sustain you for the rest of your life. Teach a kid a skill that will keep him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, right.
You know, don't give him no fish. Teach him how to fish.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that's crazy too, like me dealing with all the neighborhoods, a lot of people didn't take sides. Some of them did, some didn't. And it comes to the fact is, you be like, dang, like I've really been through that in a lot of neighborhoods where I get into somebody and they'd be surprised, like, then they take this punk ass nigga side, this B nigga side, whoop whoop. It ain't about that. It's about like respecting another man.
Yeah,
Respecting a
and
man.
like I say, man.
Because I've been somewhere when a nigga really tripped out, like nigga fuck with them niggas, whoop whoop whoop. And I can say I don't want to say names that really had my back to the fact I was like, damn, I felt so good, like these niggas want to get the whole hood for me.
And there's no unity, like, remember back in the days, like when we was growing up, like if we did something, somebody else's mama would tell you something.
For
It
Now
is,
sure.
it is, it
they
is,
don't do that no
it
more.
is,
No,
it is,
we
it
don't.
is
That's the
unity.
destruction
It
of
is
the family
unity.
unit, though.
It is unity. People is worried about what the next person think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta remember this. There's frequencies of thinking, right? There's a you got a higher self and a lower self, right? So your lower self is controlled by your emotions, man, and things of that nature. And being governed by that is like being governed by an animal, like a dog or something. Because your feelings gonna lie to you. Your emotions go up and down all day. They're energy in motion, right? So logical thinking and doing what's right because it's right and not because what nobody says. Being objective and looking at the situation for what it is and not for what you want it to be is gonna always be the choice to take. See it for what it is, not what you want it to be. You know what I mean? So don't be subjective, be objective. Look at things for what they really are, not for what you want them to be based on how you feel or your emotions, because feelings are nothing to govern your life with. Feelings change. They've changed tomorrow. It changed in a couple hours.
We
You
need
know
a
what I mean?
conference, y'all. We need a conference. I know, Cliff got to get ready to go to his,
Yes, man. But it
celebration.
was a blessing
And
to come
we
here.
already went like an hour and a half or,
Well, that's
already.
good.
But
Well,
this
that's
is
good.
but this is like so needed. But Mark, real quick, where can they buy your book at?
Amazon.com. You can go to Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles. It's called The Looking Glass.
The
You know,
Looking Glass.
a cognitive, retrospective, man. A thinking back, man. The Looking Glass.
And
And
what
you
is
can
your social media handles?
MS the God, and I'm on what's my TikTok? I forget my TikTok, but it's on my TikTok and it's on my Instagram, MS the God. But you can go on there, you can go to Amazon and get it. It's a link. You can go to Amazon.com and look for The Looking Glass by Mark Stone Sanders. It'll pop right up. As far as missingourmom.org, you can go there. The book's on there on missingourmom.org. We also have the front of the book on there. Anybody interested in learning these leadership skills and life skills and want to go through this 7-week program that we have, contact me or my daughter, Jessica Robinson, at missingourmom.org, and we'll facilitate this, this program, man. And it's a life-giving program. We're here to give life and speak life, man. That's all. And I'm an advocate for life. I'm not advocating nothing else.
Right.
Step of saving these babies.
Right, Cliff.
And
What's
protecting
the
these
name?
women.
Even though people are throwing it in the chat, the name of your book and stuff. So, what's the name of your book? Where can they find it?
It's on Amazon, and I got it in my trunk.
Thank you. Woo, after Trump, guerrilla style.
That's the old school.
Yeah, guerrilla style, guerrilla marketing, old school.
And what's your social media handles, Cliff?
Bliff McDowell and Bliff the Gift.
All right. And happy, what, 25th birthday?
47.
47. Young
47?
man.
All
Young
right.
man. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
47 years ago, I was in junior high. I'm old as dirt.
No, we're not. I ain't older. Look, I ain't older.
Black don't crack though. Black don't crack. So you know you look as beautiful as ever. It's a blessed to meet you, blessed to have you here with
Yes.
me.
It-
And you know, I
yeah.
appreciate the opportunity and I just want everybody to know, man, please get out there and do something to help these kids stay out of trouble and you know, guide these kids, you know, toward freedom, you know, having a freedom, unlimited by the devil's civilization, you know, having a freedom, man. You know, that means limitless, man. Do not direct these kids toward prison and death because we already been there and done that. It don't work.
Right.
I'm gonna claim this right now. We're gonna get together and do a conference and stuff because I think everything that we talked about and stuff and everything that you guys are doing, I think if we come together and stuff, and put something together, a conference, a 1 day thing or something, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but we're trying to put one together right now. So hopefully we can
Let
put
me
one
know.
together.
Keep me posted.
Yes, man.
I do need to give another plug. Black Expo. A lot of people. It really hasn't been posted. Seen.
Oh,
Black Expo in Sacramento is next Saturday. I believe the 21st at the Double Tree. Now, speaking of flow, they're going to have a women's conference. Okay, and but next Saturday. Go support the Black Expo.
Okay,
yes,
got-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
Hey, buddy.
shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everybody that came to participate. And
Well,
you know, any men on here, man, do your duty, man, and help these babies, man. And I'm proud of Clifford. Shout out to Julius. Shout out to Hope. Shout out to all in one, all in together. Shout out to Black Child Legacy.
everybody.
Shout out to everybody out there doing the work, man. Jap, Merv, brother to brother. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, you guys, we got to do this
And the
again.
parents, stay on your kids, man. Stay on your kids.
Please stay on your kids, parents. Watch your kids, man. Pay attention to them. Pay attention and watch them. Keep them all. Don't let them post inappropriate stuff on the internet. The internet is not your friend. That's not our platform, man.
Get them involved in something. Show them how networking
Yes,
events.
ma'am. Or use the internet to get you a business. Get in real estate. Use the internet. Use the internet to start a business, not to hate on nobody and talk about nobody in a derogatory way, man. Stop falling victim to these devils giving you action. That stop being so easily influenced by the devil.
Right.
That's
Period.
the way. All right, we're gonna end it on that. All right, appreciate you, brothers. Have fun tonight, Cliff.
Okay, thank you.
All
Yes,
right, see
ma'am.
you later.
All right.
All right, peace. Y'all have a good one.